Yo, what's good? What's good with y'all? What's good with y'all, man? What's happening? YouTube? Y'all already know what time it is, man. Hit that motherfucking subscribe. And when you done with that, I want you to go over there and hit that notification bell so you can be notified every single time I upload a video or whenever I go live. You heard? Yo, it's popping today, son. It's popping. It's been a minute. I know it's been a minute since I put out any videos. You know what I mean? Had to take a little break, man, a little breather. But I'm back. And yo, I'm back on fire because this shit right here is just crazy. So today we talking about Atlanta DA Miss Fanni. That's what I call her, Fanni. Fanni, however you want to call it. But yo, this is the district attorney that's prosecuting Donald Trump. You understand? And so what's happened is Donald Trump done fired back, and through his lawyers and everything done filed affidavits saying that she should be disqualified from the case because she been fucking one of the guys who she hired as a prosecutor. So fair use. But we're going to go ahead and ride along with my man, the lead. And we're going to just ride shotgun. You heard? So again, hit the subscribe. Hit that notification, man. And come on, let's go.
4-7. If we could have counsel starting with the state identify themselves for the record for the purpose of today.
Identification.
State, Your Honor. All right, and in order of the styling, let's start with former President Trump. I think we have Mr. Sato on Zoom.
You do, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Steve Sadow for President Trump. We waive his presence, and I believe Ms. Little is also on Zoom. And
okay, thank you, Mr. Sadow. On behalf of Mr. Giuliani.
I'm Stockton on behalf of Mayor Giuliani. I think Dave Lewis and John Esposito.
The struggle screaming, guys. Where is that coming from? Do y'all hear that, or is it just me? What the hell?
On behalf of Mr. Roman.
Good afternoon, Judge Ashley John Merchant on behalf of Mr. Roman and he waives his presence.
All right, on behalf of Mr. Schaefer.
Greg Gill and Anthony Lake on behalf of Mr. Schaefer, and he waives his presence.
On behalf of Mr. Floyd.
morning, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Chris, get your
Yeah, let's get to the lead. You know what I'm saying?
34,000.
Feels like a dream, feels like that.
Okay, here we go, y'all. Let's get into it, man.
Nathan and Fanni coming to your office
Oh my
and
God.
spending time together at your office.
Oh my God.
No, I mentioned, I do recall testifying on the 16th that she had come to our office.
And that was before she was elected as district attorney, correct?
I recall that that was when she was district attorney. Because I said that there was a meeting held at my office.
And who was at that meeting?
Now I can't tell you that. I don't recall.
But you know Miss Willis was there, Mr. Wade was there.
It was at our office. Actually, Miss Willis was there, and there were other people there. Mr. Wade was not in that meeting. He was in the back meeting.
Why did she hold it at your office then?
I have no idea.
Shout out to Kay Bragg. Thank you, Kay Bragg.
You also remember telling me about them spending time together at her law office before she took her job.
I don't recall. Do you? I don't recall. Do you have something to?
Well, what I'm asking is, let's back up a second.
So for context, let me just say, this is the dude. Okay, so the district attorney, Fanni, she was sleeping with this guy, Nathan. Now, Nathan's homeboy, which was his lawyer, is this guy, Terrence. And this is the guy that's on the stand right now. And he's a rat. Okay, he's a snitch. And what you are listening to is a guy who was best friends with another guy for 10 years. And now he's on the stand doing what rats do. Okay, that's just for context, folks.
So Ms. Willis rented a law office from the Evans firm, or Andrew Evans and another lawyer, I think Stacey Evans. You have knowledge of that, correct?
No, I don't object to your saying.
Well,
How does he know the information? That would be the correct question.
okay. Ms. Burchell.
I don't really know even how to respond to that. Hearsay, I'm asking if he knew that she rented
Yeah,
offices.
he may have been there.
Right.
He may have seen a business card or something at some point. I think he can answer that.
I've never been to Miss Willis's office when she was in private practice. I've never dealt with where she rented. I didn't even know where her office was. So,
Do you remember, though, knowing that she rented an office
yes,
from the Evans?
yes,
You did know
yes,
this, right?
that is correct. Yes.
Okay. And do you remember telling me that Mr. Wade and Miss Willis would rendezvous at that office?
Oh, no.
I'm going to
Oh, no.
again hearsay as to how he knows that information. He said he has no personal knowledge.
He did not say he has no personal knowledge, Trish. He hasn't even answered it.
No, he said in general he had no personal knowledge, so it's not been established the source of how he would know this because he said he's never been to her office.
All right. Ms. Burchell, if I know you're trying to impeach him by a prior inconsistent statement, but unless you can first back up and show why each statement is actually something that you have knowledge of, I don't know if this is going to be relevant.
And Judge, I'm not even there yet. But again, that a speaking objection, and so now I would anticipate what our response is going to be next. I didn't ask anything that was objectionable, but these objections are coaching the witness. I asked if he had knowledge. That's it. I didn't ask, did someone say this to you? I didn't ask, what did this person tell you? I asked if you knew.
Well, no, you're asking if you have knowledge, and then you say of something specific. So,
Once I get an answer to that, if he has knowledge, then I will follow up with where that knowledge came
all
from.
right, well, let's try again.
So my question is, do you have knowledge of them meeting at that office?
Objection. Foundation.
Okay. All right. Overruled.
Do you have knowledge of them meeting at that office?
I have no personal knowledge, if that's what you're asking.
I didn't ask that yet. I asked if you have any knowledge.
Objection. That would be hearsay.
Overruled.
Not if it came from Mr.
I
Wade.
don't know where it came from.
Wow.
So you said
That's getting on it again.
How do you know?
Any knowledge that I would have received would have come from my client at the time.
Okay, so you had knowledge of this place that Miss Willis worked. What did you know about them meeting at that office?
Objection. Hearsay.
It's not hearsay, Judge.
How he knows it, and then you ask the next question.
all right. He's already asked the next question.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. How do you have knowledge? What knowledge? Well, you just told us. You told us Mr. Wade told you. So tell us what Mr. Wade told you about Miss Willis and Mr. Wade meeting at the Evans office.
Objection, Your Honor. Privilege. This is only-
Bombo card.
Yes.
Yeah. Overruled.
This attorney,
Your call the question, Mr. Brown.
she was struggling, but
Re-ask
now
the
she's
question.
hit you.
What did you learn from Mr. Wade, I just clarified that for you on your phone, about Mr. Wade and Miss Willis meeting at Kevin's office together.
I don't object to ask and answer. He's testified at
He hasn't answered. Yeah, we haven't heard an answer.
He testified at one conversation with Mr. Wade in the back of his law office.
No, but his answer may change. So
Tip him off as to how to answer the question.
I can't recall what the conversation was. I do recall knowing that he would go down to the office or had been down to the office, but I can't tell you in what capacity or when or any of that. No.
Mr. Wade told you that they had sex at the office. That's
Oh
correct?
shit!
I don't recall him stating that.
In
No.
the office?
You don't recall.
No.
So it's possible he did say that. You just don't remember one way or another?
Oh no!
I do not remember saying that.
And do you recall that he had a garage door opener to either a house or a condo or something like that of Miss Willis's?
I've never seen a garage door opener. I've never been to Miss Willis's house. I've never been to, and I'm trying to explain, I've never been. So no, I do not have any personal knowledge of him having a garage door opener.
Let me ask the question again.
Yes, sir.
I didn't ask if you have personal knowledge, like as in you saw it. Do you have any knowledge at all from Mr. Wade or any source that he used a garage door opener to access one of Miss Willis's residences?
I'll object to any source as to hearsay.
all right, depends on the source. Or road.
No, I don't have any knowledge.
So when you told me that, did you just make it up?
Oh!
Do you have something that shows that I told you that?
Yes. We're going to go through all the texts we can, but so was that made up though?
I'm going to object because I
don't recall him having.
That's right.
I'm going to object under 106 is rule of completeness. I don't have that text message or any text messages that indicate that, Your Honor.
And I don't have, if it was a text, we had that conversation. I actually think it was when he was on speakerphone and Mr. Merchant was there, but I'm not sure. But I mean, if I'm asked to qualify exactly where that's from, I would.
Okay, so rule of completeness would be if you need to introduce other text to show the context. If you're saying you haven't seen a copy yet, then I think Ms. Merchant needs to do that before you can
And I don't
decide
have,
the next step.
and that's what I was asking him. If that was something he just remembers making up. If he doesn't, then that's fine. But
She referenced text message.
You know that you're messed up when if someone asks you, hey, did you say that Fanni and Nathan were having sex in the office? And your answer is, well, do you have a text showing it? Do you have a text showing right? First of all, we're going to get right back to it, guys, but please, y'all know I don't ask you for anything. I don't ask you guys for a penny. I don't ask you for anything. Please.
Blood clot. So y'all see the foolery that's going on. Yo, this guy. So when they saying Miss Willis, that's the DA, the Atlanta DA, Fanni. And Nathan is the guy she was sleeping with. Now this dude that's on the stand being a rat is Terrence, the homeboy of Nathan. For 10 years. They was close. So that's how he know all this information. And what happened was his ass had got fired from the firm because he had assaulted a couple women and they didn't want the bad image on the firm. They let his ass go. He got mad, so he went and started ratting to the prosecutors on the other side against his own homie. You get what I'm saying? So this is what you bear witness to, but let's move right along.
God, Judge, you're fucking up my content. Let her go for 2 more hours, Judge. Please, Lord God, she's cooking this dude. If you guys are just joining in, she got him basically to admit that he said that Fanni and Nathan were fucking in Nathan's office.
Are we supposed to go together? Oh, these are two separate days. Okay, all right.
Oh my God. 50-year-old Fanni was fucking in the back office.
Blood clot.
Fanni, oh, you're being exposed.
So then we talked about the other occasions where you said the texts were just about the footnote. But do you recall me asking you,
Somebody's office.
do you think it started before she hired him? And you said absolutely. You recall that?
I see that in the text
Wait, I
message.
missed it. Okay, all right, here we go, guys. Everybody focus. Let's get back on it. Okay, let's go. Here we go.
So then we talked about the other occasions where you said the texts were just about the footnote. But do you recall me asking you, do you think it started before she hired him? And you said absolutely.
Man, that is a bombshell. He is saying yes. They started having sex before he was hired. Man, let's go.
I see that.
Damn.
So then we talked about the other occasions where you said the texts were just about the footnote. But do you recall me asking you, do you think it started before she hired him? And you said absolutely.
Oh,
Do
Terry.
you recall that?
I see that in the text message. Yes.
Okay. And do you also recall me asking you how they would react if they would attack me? And you said no, they will deny it.
Your Honor, that's speculation. That's
what he
how
said.
he thinks they will react.
I think it goes to the motivations of the witness. Overall.
And you told me that they will deny it.
Yeah, that's written in there. Yes.
And they have denied it.
I just want one last opportunity. You're an officer of the court, correct?
Oh.
And you're under oath today.
I am.
Is there any of your testimony from today or the previous days that you want to correct?
That I want to correct?
Yes.
No, I've told you everything that I've answered everything that you asked.
Thank you. Oh, Judge, just so counsel in the state can have
Somebody write Ashley stuff. Write merchant. Somebody write merchant in there.
And
So it's just for
I didn't know if they wanted to use them, but I'll
Merchant licks that ass
at
up.
some point that we can make it part of the record. All right. Let me turn over to Mr. Sato.
Oh, here comes Donald Trump's attorney.
Thank you.
Donald Trump's attorney's coming to the podium. Somebody write Boots. Shout out to AV, named him Boots. AV is at work,
Boots.
guys. It was put a prayer for AV. Somebody write Boots.
I do have a few
AV in the
questions.
chat.
So now what's going on is the first prosecutor done her thing with this rat, and now Donald J. Trump's attorney is about to cross-examine the gerbil as well. Bumbleclad.
First thing I'd like to know is whether the court reporter has defense exhibits 26 and 27 from the last.
We have a different court reporter this time. We had to have someone else fill in on such short notice.
Yeah,
I
shout
can
out to this court
potentially
reporter.
send those to you if you need them.
Shout out to this.
Well, I think I have working copies, but I want to make sure that the witness has a copy to look at.
All right.
Let the pen his
I
ass.
can try to work through that.
This is
logistical
Donald
challenge.
Trump's
This is you said
personal
26
attorney.
and 27.
I believe that's correct. And 26, I think, is the same text messages that Ms. Merchant was just asking about. It was
First one
2
is
pages. I stapled it together, and it is dated January the 5th.
While they're doing this, press one if you think Donald Trump's attorney is about to light this ninja up. About to light him up.
Okay, because that's where I'm.
Donald
That's where I'm
Trump's
gonna start.
attorney is
But
not
I'll see what I can
fucking
do.
around with this dude. Somebody write Trump 24 in the damn chat. Boy, this shit's about to get crunk. Guys, you can't make this up, man. You can't make it up. I'm so excited. Y'all don't understand. It's all attorneys in that damn thing.
All right, Mr. Sato, why don't we start with your question, and we'll see if you actually need to get a copy of those exhibits from the witness.
Let's go.
All right.
And let me say this: it appears that
Right.
now is over Zoom. Okay, so he's not in the courtroom.
Yes, I'm here. All of a sudden, I've lost you on the screen.
There he is.
You're on the Zoom. You're on YouTube, but you're not on the Zoom itself. But
He's watching you.
that I can see.
Steve, are you watching me?
I'm here. I can hear you.
No, I know. I think his visuals may be a little different.
What channel are you watching,
Hold
Steve?
tight, Mr. Sadow. We can try to correct that.
Yeah, he was
We're
on.
watching the
He was on when Ms. Merchant was asking questions.
We need to add a spotlight to to the witness stand and a spotlight to Mr. Sadow, and we don't need all the other boxes.
There we go. Thank you very much.
Well, the whole time, Mr. Sadow, we need to add you as well.
Shout out to the little gaming channel. I want to drop my man's link to the channel in the chat. Shout out to Pablo
Now we're ready.
Mendoza.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bradley, you have referred to Mr. Wade as your client, correct?
Oh shit.
Correct. You understand that the court has ruled that communications that you had with Mr. Wade are not privileged, correct?
No, I'm aware that the court ruled that one specific dealing with the time frame of one specific conversation wasn't privileged.
Then I'm going to ask Your Honor, if is that a limitation or
To clarify,
email?
sure, Mr. Sadow, you asked whether all communications with Mr. Wade, I think, were covered. That was not the extent of the ruling. The only ones that I deemed were not covered, and that I asked on the in-camera hearing because those are the ones that were relevant, were any communications Mr. Wade made regarding the existence or non-existence of a romantic relationship with Ms. Willis.
Okay, and the woman who's holding the light-skinned woman with the little bud, she's holding up a voice recorder to her mouth. She is a court reporter. She is recording everything that is being said in the hearing. So she's speaking into a microphone, but it's covering her mouth so that everybody else can't hear it. Let's go. Great question.
Fine, thank you, Your Honor. I understand. So, going back to this line of inquiry, when you say you don't have personal knowledge, what I want to ask you to start with is very simple. Did you have communications with Mr. Wade about the relationship between Mr. Wade and Ms. Willis? It's a simple yes and no.
Yes.
Okay. And is it your testimony? Time. Is that correct?
That's the time frame that I remember, yes.
Is it your testimony under oath that with regard to conversations with Mr. Wade about his relationship with Ms. Willis, that you only had one such conversation during the time you represented Mr. Wade?
One conversation of what? I apologize.
The only thing I'm asking about is that area that the court said is not privileged, which is the relationship between Mr. Wade and Ms. Willis. You've testified that during the time you represented Mr. Wade from 2018 on, that you only had one conversation with him in reference to the relationship between Ms. Willis and Mr. Wade. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's fairly accurate, yes.
Okay, so out of the entire time we're talking about could be 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. When did you stop representing Mr. Wade?
It was a few months after I left the firm.
All right, give me some time.
I left maybe June, July of 2022, maybe.
Shout out to Impress.
So that would suggest that for, assuming it's 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, and half of 2022, which is in the vicinity of 4 to 4.5 years, you're testifying under oath you had one conversation about a relationship between Mr. Wade and Ms. Willis. Is that correct?
I don't recall having any other conversation with Mr. Wade
Nigga's a rat.
about him and Miss Willis.
Is it your testimony then that you don't remember any other conversation, or there wasn't any other conversation besides the one?
I'm going to object to ask and answer.
I think he's drilling down. I think it's a fair question overall.
I don't recall. I would say it was the one, but I don't recall.
You testified that you did have communications with Mr. Wade about him visiting with Ms. Willis at a condo or apartment, correct?
I don't think I testified that I had a conversation. I testified that any knowledge that I would have known anything about any condo would have come from that, but I don't recall a conversation about that. I do not recall a conversation about that.
Do you recall any other thing at this point in time under oath that would indicate when the relationship started between Mr. Wade and Mrs. Willis?
I do not know when the relationship started between Mr. Wade and Miss Willis. I cannot recall that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm going to drill down on that now, okay?
Drill down
Yes.
on it. Osmond Morty, I covered all.
Mr. Wade was hired as the special prosecutor on November 1st of 2021. You're aware of that, correct?
I have my contracts to show when I started. No one showed me the contract of when he started, but but if he has a contract from November 1st of 2021, then that's correct.
All right. I'm gonna suggest to you that the record will reflect that the contract between Ms. Willis and Mr. Wade was November 1st of 2021, correct? I want you just to accept that, okay? Is it your testimony that you don't know under oath whether or not there was a relationship between Mr. Wade and Ms. Willis before the contract?
I do not recall any dates of when the relationship started. So whether you are pinpointing a date of when his contract started or not, I'm telling you I did not recall any specific date that he flat out said anything about a relationship with Miss Willis.
Thank you, Brad Chariot.
Okay. Now I want to go, based on what you just said, let's go to what was Defense Exhibit 26. Okay? In Defense Exhibit 26, which I showed you last time, was 2 pages of text messages between you and Ms. Merchant, correct?
Correct.
Right. Now, the first page starts off by saying, Ms. Merchant, like, just date, don't hire him. Do you think it started before she hired him? You see that?
Yes, I see it. Yes.
And your response to that was absolutely correct.
Object, ask and answer in cumulative.
So, Mr. Shade, I do think we went through a lot of these texts.
We didn't go through this whole one.
Just a second, Mr. Shade. All right. I'm sorry, Mr. Shade. You said you didn't go through this particular one?
No, we stopped right there. I want to go.
I answered because this is the exact language that she just stated a few minutes ago. You can read it back.
Okay, Mr. Shade. You're saying both of these 2 exhibits weren't already covered by Ms. Merchant?
It was not gone, this particular language was not gone into. I'm doing it based on the exhibit itself. Well, let's do it this way. I now move into evidence defense exhibit number 26.
All right, and I'd have to search through my notes, but does anyone recall that one actually been tendered in a minute already?
No, it was only presented to Your Honor for you to take back into camera ex parte to speak with Mr. Bradley and his counsel.
Okay. Mr. Merchant is indicating that it was admitted.
I thought Mr. Sadell admitted it, but I'm organizing and I'm back in order. So I think it might be easier if I just did the copies of the text I'm referring to.
All right, so Defense Exhibit 26 and 27 are being tendered.
Well, actually, only 26 at this time.
Okay, Defense Exhibit 6, any objection from the state?
26.
I'm going to object as it relates to foundation and authentication. It was used to during the last hearing for the purposes of refreshing his recollection, and it's my recollection is that it didn't refresh.
If you're wondering how to pinpoint the next mass.
That's the cumulative.
Okay. As to foundational authentication, I think Mr. Bradley has recognized that in his text that he sent and received. So,
Guys, and again, this is so messed up.
we won't have basis any other objections to there. And
This is Terrence, and he was representing Nathan and then working for the other side of the
Six is
home.
now admitted. Mr. Sadell.
But he was doing it right.
All right, let's continue now publishing it. After you said the word absolutely,
Look at him work.
on your own, you said it started when she left the DA's office and was judged in South Fulton. They met at
Object. That's the answer.
All right, understood, Mr. Valley. I'm going to let Mr. Sadell have a few minutes on this, and we'll go from there. But
Judge, I'm sorry. I did answer this. I answered it for Ms. Merchant. I stated that I was speculating. The judge, someone objected to the speculation, and that this was the exact same language.
we'll take
when I said
Mr. Bradley. Mr. Sadell is asking the question in a slightly different manner, and we'll give him a little bit of leeway to do that. So, Mr. Sadell.
All right, I hesitate to have to start back where I was, but after the word absolutely, you on your own said it started when she left the DA's office and was judged in South Fulton.
Wow.
They met at the municipal court CLE conference.
Wow.
That's what you said, correct?
That is correct.
Now, it's your testimony, at least so.
Hey, yo, Terrence. You a big fat rat, my guy.
Far that when you on your own gave those two statements in the text, that you were merely speculating and did not have that knowledge from Mr. Wade. Is that your testimony under oath?
Yes, that's what I testified to. Yes, sir.
So you on your own came up with the whole notion that it started when she left the DA's office and was judged in South Fulton. That's, according to you, that's speculation on your part, correct?
Overruled him. Answer the question, Mr. Bradley.
Yes, that's speculation on my part. Yes.
Right. It had nothing to do with what Mr. Wade had told you, correct?
Wow.
I answered your question. I was speculating to the answer. That is correct.
So maybe you can tell the court, in your own words, why in the heck would you speculate in this text message and say that it started when she left the DA's office and was a judge in South Fulton? Why would you speculate and say that in a text?
I knew they had met at the municipal court conference.
How do you know that? I'll stop you right there. How did you know that?
I answered that at the last.
I'm
I knew
asking
that.
you now.
I knew that.
I'm asking you questions, and you are in a situation where you get to give answers. I'm asking you, how did you know that?
Get him, Booth. Get him.
How did I know when they met?
Somebody told you that, right?
When they met?
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Who told you?
Who told you?
Mr. Wade told me when they met.
Oh, so you had more than one conversation about
One
the
more
relationship
time.
between Mr. Wade and Miss Willis, because he told you where he met her.
That's incorrect. Incorrect.
It's incorrect.
It's incorrect.
Let's go back to
Okay.
him. Let's
Okay.
go.
All right. So I heard enough. Listen, this dude Terrence is like the biggest rat I ever seen. Like this guy is amazing. Like, and mind you, his homie Nathan is sitting right in front of him. Why he ratting like this? Why he admitting to testimony that he done gave on the behalf of the prosecutor? Yo, man, shit is crazy, man. But it ain't looking good for Fanni. It ain't looking good. I think personally that they're gonna disqualify her from off this case, and I don't think she's gonna be able to move forward with the prosecution of Donald J. Trump, in my humble opinion. Well, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Y'all get in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel about the situation. Before you do that, though, I want you to subscribe to the channel. Help the channel grow, please. Help with the algorithm so other people can enjoy the content as well. After that, hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a video, every time I go live, right? Yeah. And with that, I'm going to be on up out of here, man. And you know what my motto is. Each one, teach one. If you got wisdom, give it away. It ain't yours.